You ever feel like you're meant for more, but somehow, you're stuck doing nothing? You keep telling yourself, tomorrow I'll start. But tomorrow never comes. Days turn into weeks, weeks into guilt, and that fire inside you? Slowly dying. But here's the truth, you're not lazy. You're just wired wrong for the system you've been trying to follow. In this video, I'm going to give you a roadmap designed for people just like you. Ambitious, smart, but stuck. This might just be the first time something finally clicks, so don't miss this. Step 1. Clarity, know what you want. Let's begin with something brutally honest. Most people fail before they even start. Not because they're untalented. Not because they don't have time. And definitely not because they're lazy. The real reason is far simpler. They're unclear. Their energy is scattered. Their focus is divided. Their goals are vague, constantly changing, and often contradicting. And if your brain doesn't know what exactly you're aiming for, how can it possibly take you there? Now, if you're someone who's lazy and ambitious, which is a surprisingly common combo, then clarity becomes your secret weapon. Because you don't have time or energy to waste. Every time you overthink or juggle 10 different ideas, you burn your limited fuel. You can't afford to wake up each morning asking, should I start a YouTube channel? Maybe try trading? Wait, what about freelancing? That's not ambition. That's chaos. And clarity is what cuts through that chaos. Clarity means knowing exactly what you want, why you want it, when you want it, and what you're willing to give up for it. It's not just writing down, I want to be successful, or I want to make money. Those are dreams, not goals. A real goal sounds like this. I want to earn $1,000 a month online by building a Shopify store before December 1st. See the difference? That's clarity. That's power. Now your brain has direction. It can make decisions faster, filter out distractions, and start building real momentum. So your first task is simple but powerful. Ask yourself, what's the one thing I want to achieve in the next 6 months? Not 5 things. Not 3. Just 1. Your brain might resist this. It'll try to convince you that you can multitask, that you can chase multiple dreams at once. But the truth is, if you're lazy, you can't afford divided energy. You need to focus it like a laser. Because one clear goal will take you farther than 10 half-hearted attempts. Once you've chosen that one goal, the next step is to shape it using the SMART method. SMART stands for specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. It's a simple framework to turn vague hopes into actionable plans. For example, instead of saying, I want to start a business, say, I want to launch a Shopify store that makes $1,000 per month by December 1st. That's specific. You know what kind of business. It's measurable, $1,000 per month is a clear benchmark. It's achievable, realistic for 6 months. It's relevant, assuming it matters to you. And it's time-bound, there's a clear deadline. Now, you might be thinking, but what if I choose the wrong goal? That's a common fear. And it's what keeps most people stuck in inaction. But here's the truth, you don't need the perfect goal. You just need a clear one that gets you moving. Once you take the first few steps, your direction becomes clearer. Clarity grows with movement. You can always pivot later, but you can't pivot from a standstill. Choosing one goal for 6 months might feel limiting, but in reality, it gives you more. More focus. More peace of mind. More confidence. You'll know exactly what to say yes to, and more importantly, what to say no to. That alone removes 80% of the stress and guilt you carry every day. And as you start seeing progress in that one area, something magical happens. You start to believe in yourself again. Your identity begins to shift. You're no longer just a lazy person with dreams, you're someone who takes aligned action. And that feeling becomes addictive. So here's what I want you to do right now. Take 60 seconds and write down this sentence. My one goal for the next 6 months is to your goal by specific date. Make it clear. Make it measurable. Make it realistic. Then write it on a sticky note. Put it on your wall. Set it as your phone's wallpaper. Look at it every single day. Your brain needs constant reminders of what matters. Otherwise, it will drift back into distraction. And if you're someone who struggles with consistency, procrastination, or low energy, this is even more important. Lazy people aren't stupid. In fact, they're usually highly creative, deeply reflective, and extremely capable when given the right structure. The reason you haven't succeeded yet isn't because you're incapable. It's because you've been playing the game wrong. You've been trying to hustle with a foggy mind. That never works. What you need is focus, one goal. You need structure, a clear, time-bound plan. You need simplicity, No overcomplicated systems or 50-point checklists. And you need visible progress, something you can actually see and feel every week. Clarity gives you all of that. And once you start seeing momentum, that laziness begins to melt away. You wake up with direction. You go to sleep with satisfaction. And for the first time in a long time, you start liking the person you're becoming. So to recap, most people fail not because they're lazy, but because they're unclear. If you want to win, especially if you're low energy or inconsistent, your best shot is to simplify your path. Pick one goal. Make it specific. Make it measurable. Make it time-bound. Then lock it into your life until it becomes real. Coming up in the next part of this video, I'll show you how to eliminate distractions, kill procrastination, and build a system so simple, even your lazy brain can stick to it. Trust me, if you got this far, you've already proven you want it. So don't stop now. The roadmap is just beginning. Part 2. Eliminate distractions, including emotional ones. Let's be honest. Everyone talks about motivation. Everyone talks about setting goals, staying focused, and working hard. But what almost nobody talks about is this. If you don't eliminate distractions, especially the emotional ones, you will never be consistent. You could have the clearest goal and the smartest plan, but if your attention is scattered, if your emotions are constantly being pulled into old stories and old pain, you'll always feel stuck, drained, and overwhelmed. Because attention is energy. And whatever gets your attention, gets your life. That's why we start here. Because the real reason so many ambitious, creative, and intelligent people fail isn't because they're lazy, it's because they're distracted. Not just by phones, apps, and screens, but by people, memories, regrets, and resentment. You can't move forward if you're always looking backward. Imagine trying to drive while staring into the rearview mirror. You'd crash, right? But that's exactly what many people do with their lives. They're trying to build a better future while mentally living in the past. They're trying to level up while still replaying betrayal, heartbreak, and the moments they were made to feel small or invisible. They're carrying emotional weight that makes every step forward feel exhausting. And eventually, they give up, not because they weren't capable, but because their mental bandwidth was already full. So let's start with what you can control right now, the obvious distractions. Social media, short videos, the endless scroll of entertainment that leaves you numb and guilty. These are the distractions you see. They might seem harmless, but over time, they teach your brain to chase quick pleasure instead of long-term results. They break your focus, steal your time, and leave nothing behind except regret. If you're lazy but ambitious, which is more common than you think, your energy is limited. You have to guard it. You can't afford to give your prime hours to apps designed to keep you addicted. So here's what you can do. Delete the apps you don't need. Turn off notifications. Use tools that block distracting websites. Move your biggest time wasters into a hidden folder. Even that small amount of friction can be enough to break the habit loop and help you reclaim your time. But now, we need to go deeper, into the emotional distractions. This is where the real damage is done. These aren't the things you see, but the things you feel. The betrayal you keep replaying. The people who left, ignored you, or replaced you. The memories that keep you up at night, wondering what went wrong. These are the distractions that rob you of peace. And every time you feed them with your attention, you give away energy that should be building your future. Here's the hardest truth. Every thought you give to the people who hurt you is energy stolen from your dream. Every time you check their social media. Every time you replay the moment they disrespected you. Every time you argue with them in your head, hoping they'll finally understand, you're not just reliving the pain. You're choosing it. Not consciously, but still choosing. Because healing doesn't begin when they apologize. Healing begins when you stop giving them space in your mind. When you stop trying to explain your worth to people committed to misunderstanding it. When you choose peace over closure and clarity over emotional chaos. Now I get it. Letting go doesn't feel easy, but it's necessary. Not for them, for you. You don't need to forget what happened. You just need to stop letting it control your focus. You don't need to forgive instantly. You just need to interrupt the loop of pain that keeps playing in your mind. Because as long as you're mentally living in the past, the future stays out of reach. So what do? Start by identifying your biggest distractions, both digital and emotional. Take out a notebook and ask yourself, what are the top 3 things that waste my time each day? And what are the top 3 thoughts or people I can't seem to let go of? Be honest with yourself. This isn't about judgment. It's about awareness. Because once you see the leaks in your attention, you can start to patch them. Then write down the sentence, I release what no longer serves me, so I can create what finally fulfills me. Say it every day. Put it where you can see it. Let it be a daily reminder that your energy is sacred, and not everyone, and not everything, deserves it. You can also take simple steps to let go emotionally. Journal every day. Dump your thoughts out on paper instead of letting them spiral in your mind. Set digital boundaries. Stop checking their profiles. Mute, unfollow, block if needed. Don't feed curiosity that creates misery. Replace rumination with action. Every time your mind goes back to the past, redirect it to your goal. Even if it's just a small task, take that energy and use it. And most importantly, forgive. Not because they deserve it, but because you deserve peace. Forgiveness isn't about excusing their behavior. It's about refusing to suffer from it any longer. It's about saying, "This ends with me." Remember, you only have so much energy each day. Use it wisely. If you're always tired, drained, or scattered, it's probably not because you're lazy. It's because your energy is being leaked in 100 directions. Plug those leaks. Protect your mind. Choose what you focus on intentionally. You have to make a choice. Peace or drama. The past or the future. Every moment you spend in mental conflict is a moment stolen from your potential. But every moment you spend focused, truly focused, moves you closer to becoming the person you were always meant to be. So eliminate the distractions. Let go of the drama. Create boundaries around your time, your heart, and your mind. And know this, the clearest, most powerful version of you is waiting on the other side of letting go. In the next part, we'll dive into how to build a lazy-proof action system, a step-by-step structure that helps you stay consistent even on your worst days. Because once you have clarity and you've cleared distractions, it's time to start moving one simple, powerful step at a time. Step 3. Make a simple but solid plan. Now that you have clarity on your goal and have removed distractions, the next crucial step is to make a simple but solid plan. Knowing what you want is important, but turning that into consistent action is where most people struggle. Especially if you're someone who tends to procrastinate or feels overwhelmed easily, the key is to create a plan that reduces friction and removes the need for constant decision-making. Lazy doesn't mean useless. It means you need a system that works even when motivation is low and your energy fluctuates. The first step in building this plan is to define your end goal as specifically as possible. Vague goals like, "I want success," or "I want to make money," won't give your brain a clear direction. Instead, get crystal clear. For example, "I want to make $1,000 per month from a Shopify store by December 1st, or "I want to lose 10 kilograms in 4 months by working out and eating clean." When your goal is specific, measurable, and time-bound, your plan becomes practical and achievable. Once you have your end goal defined, break it into milestones or monthly targets. Think of these as checkpoints along your path, smaller goals that keep you motivated and give you a sense of progress. For example, if your goal is to make $1,000 per month in 4 months, your milestones could be setting up your store and listing products in the first month, launching ads in the second, optimizing your marketing in the third, and hitting your income target in the fourth. These milestones give you a roadmap and help avoid feeling lost or overwhelmed by the big picture. Next, break those monthly milestones into weekly tasks. Each week should have a clear focus that moves you closer to your milestone. Instead of waking up each day wondering what to do, you'll know your weekly priority. For example, if your first month's milestone is to set up your Shopify store, your weekly tasks could be buying a domain, customizing your site, adding initial products, and writing your homepage copy. Planning your week every Sunday helps you stay on track and reduces mental clutter. After that, break your weekly tasks into daily actions, but keep it simple. Identify just 2 or 3 key tasks per day. The goal is not to overwhelm yourself with a long to-do list, but to focus on what matters most. Doing 2 or 3 focused tasks daily builds momentum and confidence, even on your laziest days. For example, Monday's tasks might be creating a logo, setting up the homepage, and writing the About Us section. That's enough progress without burnout. Finally, add deadlines and accountability to your plan. Even the best plan can fail without follow-through. Set specific deadlines on your calendar for each task and milestone. Share your goals and progress with a friend or accountability partner, or even post updates publicly to create social pressure. Knowing someone else is watching helps you stay honest and motivated. The truth is, most people don't fail because they're lazy. They fail because they don't know what to do today. Your brain defaults to doing nothing when there's no clear direction. But by following this 5-step system, defining your goal, breaking it into milestones, creating weekly tasks, focusing on small daily actions, and setting deadlines with accountability, you eliminate confusion and make progress natural and sustainable. This system is designed for real people who struggle with motivation and consistency. It doesn't require you to wake up at 5 a.m. or be in beast mode every day. It works because it's simple, intentional, and built around your energy. If you've been stuck in a cycle of starting and quitting, this plan is your way out. Not by doing more, but by doing less, more intentionally. When you remove the guesswork, you remove the resistance. Your brain stops asking, "What should I do?" and starts asking, "What's next?" That's how progress becomes effortless and success becomes sustainable. Step 4. Visualize daily and choose the right people. Your brain is a powerful organ, maybe the most powerful tool you have in your journey to success. But here's a fascinating fact. Your brain doesn't know the difference between imagination and reality. This means when you vividly imagine something, your brain reacts almost as if it's truly happening. This simple truth can be your secret weapon. Imagine spending just 5 minutes every morning visualizing your success. Picture yourself achieving your goal, whether it's earning your first $1,000 online, launching your business, or losing those stubborn pounds. See it clearly in your mind. Feel the emotions, the pride, the excitement, the relief, the happiness. Smile like it already happened. This daily practice isn't just wishful thinking. It's training your brain to believe that success is inevitable. Why does this work? Because visualization creates a powerful neural pathway in your brain, a mental rehearsal that programs your subconscious mind for success. When you consistently imagine yourself succeeding, your brain starts aligning your thoughts, emotions, and behaviors toward that outcome. It's like giving your mind a blueprint, so when opportunities or challenges come, you're mentally ready to handle them. On the flip side, if your daily thoughts are filled with doubts, fears, and negative self-talk, your brain learns to expect failure and setbacks. Visualization helps flip that script. Instead of focusing on what could go wrong, you focus on what's possible and what's already happening in your imagination. This simple shift can drastically improve your confidence, reduce anxiety, and boost motivation. But visualization alone isn't enough. Equally important is the company you keep. You've probably heard the saying, "You are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with." This is not just a cliché, it's a scientific reality. The people around you influence your mindset, your habits, your energy, and your belief in what's possible. If you surround yourself with people who complain, gossip, and focus on drama, their energy will drag you down. They may not even realize it, but their negativity can seep into your thoughts and hold you back. On the other hand, if you surround yourself with growth-minded, positive, and ambitious people, their mindset will uplift and inspire you. They talk about ideas, goals, progress, and solutions, not problems and excuses. If your current circle doesn't support your goals, it's time to make a change. This can be uncomfortable. Letting go of relationships or distancing yourself from people you've known for years isn't easy. But remember, growth requires discomfort. You don't need to cut people off completely, but you need to reduce the influence of those who don't believe in your potential or who drain your energy. Seek out communities, groups, or individuals who share your aspirations. Join online forums, attend meetups, or find mentors who have already achieved what you want to achieve. These people will hold you accountable, celebrate your wins, and encourage you through the tough times. They make motivation contagious. Because motivation really is contagious. When you're around motivated people, their energy rubs off on you. Their stories of success and failure teach you lessons faster. Their enthusiasm pushes you to take action when you feel like quitting. And their belief in you can sometimes be the spark you need when your own confidence wavers. On the other hand, if you're surrounded by negativity, it's like trying to fill a bucket with a hole in it. No matter how much effort you put in, the negative energy drains your progress. That's why choosing the right people to spend your time with is just as important as the work you put into your goals. To make this practical, start by evaluating your current relationships. Ask yourself, do the people I spend time with support my dreams? Do they inspire me to be better? Or do they make me feel small, doubtful, or stuck? Be honest. Then, take steps to increase your time with positive influences. This could mean scheduling regular calls with a mentor, joining a mastermind group, or simply spending more time with friends who lift you up. Pair this with your daily visualization practice and you'll be setting yourself up for unstoppable momentum. Your mind is being programmed to believe success is possible, and your environment is fueling that belief with support and encouragement. In summary, visualize your success every day with feeling and detail, and choose your circle wisely. Your brain will follow where your imagination and environment lead. Step 5. Track your progress, or you'll quit. One of the biggest reasons people give up on their goals, even when they're ambitious and motivated, is because they lose track of how far they've come. You can't improve what you don't measure. It's a simple but powerful truth. If you don't know whether you're moving forward or standing still, it's easy to feel discouraged and quit before you even get close to success. Tracking your progress doesn't need to be complicated or time-consuming. You don't need fancy apps, complicated spreadsheets, or perfect charts. Sometimes, the simplest tools are the most effective. A plain notebook, a Google Sheet, or even just marking days on your calendar can be enough to create that powerful habit of reflection and accountability. Why is tracking progress so important? Because it keeps your goal alive in your mind. It reminds you of your why, the reason you started this journey in the first place. When you pause regularly to ask yourself what you've achieved, what challenges slowed you down, and what you can improve next week, you're actively engaging with your growth. This habit keeps you connected to your purpose, which is the fuel that powers long-term success. Try making it a weekly ritual, ideally every Sunday evening. Take 10 to 15 minutes to honestly review your week. What went well? What obstacles came up? How did you overcome them? Or how will you do better next time? This reflection not only helps you celebrate small wins but also highlights patterns that might be holding you back. Maybe you notice that checking your phone first thing in the morning wastes your best hours. Or maybe you realize that certain tasks take longer than expected because you're trying to multitask. The beauty of this weekly check-in is that it keeps you flexible and adaptive. Success isn't a straight line. It's a winding path filled with lessons, adjustments, and growth. By tracking your progress, you give yourself permission to learn and course-correct without guilt. You stop seeing setbacks as failures and start seeing them as part of your journey. Even if you consider yourself lazy, this habit of progress tracking is a game changer. Because it removes the guesswork and the overwhelming "what do I do next?" feeling that often leads to procrastination. When you know exactly where you are and what you need to do next, it's easier to take action, even if your energy is low. Your brain craves clarity and structure, and this habit gives it exactly that. So, let's recap your lazy but ambitious roadmap, the 5 powerful steps that will help you achieve your goals faster, even if you struggle with motivation or consistency. First, get clear about one goal. Don't scatter your energy on 10 different dreams. Pick the one goal that excites you the most and write it down. Make it specific, measurable, and time-bound. Clarity is the foundation of everything. Second, remove all mental and physical distractions. Delete the apps that steal your time, cut out the negative thoughts that drain your energy, and create an environment that supports your growth. Your focus is precious, protect it. Third, create a simple step-by-step plan. Break your goal into monthly milestones, weekly tasks, and daily actions. Keep your daily to-dos manageable. 2 or 3 key tasks are enough. And hold yourself accountable by setting deadlines and sharing your progress with someone you trust. Fourth, visualize success and build a winning environment. Spend a few minutes each day imagining yourself already achieving your goal. Feel the emotions, the pride, the joy. And surround yourself with people who uplift you. Those who talk about growth, solutions, and progress, not gossip or excuses. Remember, motivation is contagious. Fifth and finally, track your progress weekly. Reflect on what you achieved, what slowed you down, and what you'll improve next week. This habit keeps you connected to your why, helps you celebrate small wins, and lets you adapt your plan as you learn. You don't need to be the most disciplined or the most energetic person on earth to succeed. You don't need endless motivation or superhuman willpower. What you need is clarity, focus, and a system. A roadmap designed for real people who get tired, who struggle with procrastination, but who still want massive success. Even lazy people can achieve massive success if they move strategically. The trick is to work smarter, not harder. To leverage small, consistent actions that add up to big results over time. And to protect your time, your energy, and your mind from distractions and negativity. So don't wait for the perfect moment. Don't wait for motivation to strike. Choose one goal, your goal, and go all in. Use this roadmap as your guide. Break it down. Visualize it. Track it. And surround yourself with the right people who believe in you and your dreams. If this video gave you clarity or inspired you, do me a favor, hit the like button, subscribe for more content like this, and drop a comment below telling me your one goal. I want to hear what you're working on, and together, we can build a community of lazy but ambitious people winning at life. Remember, success isn't about how fast you run or how hard you push every day. It's about showing up, focusing on what matters and moving forward, step by step, week by week. So start now. Right now. Take the first small step toward your goal. Because your future self is waiting to thank you.